Hello YouTubers, my name is Attila Mate from Blue Sky Photography, and today I would like to talk to you about a topic which is will heat up some conversations, I would say, on this channel. But anyway, I would like to share with you my opinion, because in my opinion this is a very good topic for the beginning of the year before the Photokina 2018, and that would be the best all-around full-frame camera in 2018 until now. Until Photokina, because obviously in Photokina it will be some more announcements, and then this maybe it will change, maybe. It's not sure, but maybe it will change. First of all, I would like to specify over here that when I choose this camera, I took in consideration multiple aspects, not only the price, not only the form factor, not only the sensor. I took in consideration almost everything. So when we speak about all-around full-frame camera, it means that you can do the best possible with that camera in any kind of situation. I mean, it can be sports photography, it can be portrait photography, it can be whatever photography would you like to. With this camera, the best for that money, for that price, that is the best possible way to do. So I decided, in my opinion, that the best all-around full-frame camera in 2018 is the Sony A7 Mark III. And let me explain to you why. Because some people over here will ask me, yeah, why not the Nikon D750? The Nikon D750 is one of the best full-frame cameras on the market, but it has some disadvantages as well. And unfortunately, I am a Nikon user. I'm not a Sony user yet. Probably I will be, because probably I will buy the Sony A7 Mark III, but I'm yet not a Sony user. But still, I recognize that the Sony A7 Mark III, it looks like a great camera. Now let's see some reasons why I say this and why I say that the Sony A7 Mark III would be the best all-around camera. Obviously, the first is the price point. Now, if you look at the camera and what you get for $2,000, now in Europe it will be 2,200 euro, like usual. This is nothing new, you know that in Europe it is always expensiver than in United States. You guys in United States, you are very lucky, because we have to pay all the time much more. I don't know what's the reason, but anyway, that's the situation and we have to accept that. So it is $2,000 or 2,200 euro in Europe. Now, obviously in Canada and Australia, it will be a different situation. You have to know your own prices. Unfortunately, I didn't look up for that. But when you look in the camera specifications and what you get for that price, it's worth $2,000 or 2,200 euro, definitely worth the price. The second would be the autofocus, because in my opinion, if we consider a camera, what are those things which are really important to a photographer? And I say this many times, and sometimes people, they will argue and they will come with specification from I don't know what kind of 4K photo mode and these kind of things. Look, I don't give a damn on those ones. No. What is important for me, there are a few aspects, and these aspects are over here, what I will say, not the specifications. The first is the autofocus, most importantly. Now, I said first the price point, but when you take in importance, let's say, the first is the autofocus. And the A7 Mark III, the autofocus is brilliant. Now, I saw some test videos. Like I said, I didn't test, but I'm pretty sure, because I tested all those Sony cameras before, you know, the A7, even also the A7 R Mark III I had in my hand. And I tested the autofocus, and this is supposed to be better. So it's a no-brainer, you know. When it comes to autofocus, if you want to track anything, it will be brilliant. So the autofocus comes from the A9 and the A7R Mark III combined. That is, I don't know, 700 autofocus points, whatever. It is 10 times more than enough what you need. Now the next one, the third one, is the 15 stops dynamic range. Now, we all know that the Nikon D750 is really good in dynamic range. Now this camera is supposed to be as well good, or even better. Now, even if it's the same good like the Nikon D750, but I think it will be a little bit better, because it's a backside illuminated sensor. It should be a little bit better. But even if it's that good, it is brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. The fourth one is the great low light performance. Now, again, because it is a backside illuminated sensor, the low light performance will be excellent. And it will be much better than the Nikon D750, which is great again. And I did a video about this when I compared with the Nikon D7200, the low light performance. And obviously the D750 swiped away the 7200. It's a full frame sensor, 24 megapixels. So that is kind of Nikon's legendary camera, you know, like I think for many, many years it will be still on the market. Now, the next one would be, and this is a great advantage over the Nikon D750, let's say. I'm just giving this example, Nikon D750, because I'm a Nikon user, so it might be on the Canon side something as well, you know. I'm sorry, Canon users, I don't want to offend anybody over here, but that's why I just give the Nikon example. So the next one is the great video capabilities. I tell you something, I don't really use a lot of video, but I do for my channel. And other than my channel, I don't really do a lot of video, but I have to tell you something. The Nikon cameras, they are not really good in video because they have this wobbling in the autofocusing. You know, it's like when you use only contrast detection system, you have it. Panasonic cameras have that, but Panasonic somehow managed to do it. It is just a little bit. You know, it's like just a little bit. I call it refocusing. I call it. I don't know, maybe it's not like that, it's called somehow, you know, some other word, but what I mean, the camera focuses on you and then suddenly, even if you don't move, it will be just go out and back again, you know, it does this. Now, Nikon cameras are really, really bad in this regard. And I tell you, I wouldn't use Nikon autofocus in any video, I tell you, I wouldn't use it. It made me crazy. I did try several times the D500, the 4K. I wanted to buy the D500. This is the only reason I didn't buy the D500. That's the only reason. Because I couldn't use in my video. So other than that, you know, I didn't really need the other advantages the D500 has. So that wobbling, it's not really good. Now, the Sony does not have this at all. I mean, the Sony autofocus in video, it is one of the best. I would say after Canon, because Canon is the best in autofocus, let's be fair, you know, that's Canon's strong point, you know, the autofocus, the dual pixel system. But after Canon, Sony is the best, I would say. Now, if you do photo and video, the Sony is a no-brainer. If you do only photo, then you can choose some different camera, you know, but if you consider all these aspects, because like I said at the beginning, what is the most important when you buy a camera? ISO performance, autofocus system, and other than that, the video capabilities if you do video. Now, and obviously the price point. Now, if you consider all this, you know, you have the best over here in the Sony A7 Mark III. Now, you can get some other things, you know, in the Nikon. You get better handling, maybe. If you are like me, you know, DSLR guy, you know, I like the Nikon cameras. They are big, chunky cameras, and you have easy, you know, handling, good button layout, everything, you know. But in the same time, if you want the best autofocus, the best ISO performance, the best dynamic range, which are really important, you know, then you have to think of a different one. So maybe some people will get angry over here, but like I said, I don't want to make angry anybody. I just want to tell you that this is my opinion, and in my opinion and my experience, this camera will be a game changer in 2018. Now let's talk a little bit about lenses, because many people will say now that, oh yes, the camera is excellent, but what about the lenses? And they are absolutely right, because without the lenses, the camera is nothing. Now, why I jumped on Sony in 2018, because before, and I still have a video where you have a look, I made it 1.5 years ago, when I was bashing Sony really hard, because on that time, there were a lot of things I was complaining, and all of that, it was true. But it's a very, very good point that if you look at that video and you look at the new situation, which is in 2018, you see that Sony almost repaired everything I was complaining over there. So that's why I kind of start thinking on Sony again, because the lenses, the first and foremost reason, you know, the biggest reason I would say, when many photographers are a little bit afraid to get into Sony, that situation is kind of changed now, and it's gone. The problem is gone completely, because Sigma and Tamron decided to invest heavily in the Sony A-mount system, and they decided to release a lot of lenses. The best between the lenses would be the Tamron zooms. Now we all know that the Tamron 70-200 and the 24-70 and the 15-30 or 15-35, I don't really remember what millimeter is the wide one, but these three lenses are really good. I would say the same image quality like Nikon lenses, Canon lenses, or even Sony G Master lenses. The image quality is the same. Now one has a little bit of more chromatic aberration, and the other one has a little bit of distortion difference, you know, whichever. Let's not talk about that, okay? If you take generally the image quality, the Tamron lenses will be the same. The zooms, I'm talking about the zooms now, and the generation 2 zooms are especially really good. Now they decided to do for Sony 28-75 millimeter zoom lens, f2.8, the E-mount lens, and I'm absolutely sure that until Photokina 2018, the 70-200 version will follow. So if you have these two zooms, you know, and obviously it will come the 15-35 as well, because that's kind of normal, you know, the three lenses what you need, and you are covered for everything. In regards primes, Sigma has a lot of art lenses now, 9 art lenses, you know, just they announced, so it will come on the market, so the lens problem is resolved. Now if you want to have a look at how much would it cost a camera, a Sony A7, let's say, A7 Mark III, with Tamron 28-75 lens, 2.8 lens, or if you want to have a look the Sony camera and 3 primes, you can buy the Sigma and the Tamron lenses, and you will get almost the same price point like if you buy the Nikon D70-200 and the Sigma and Tamron lenses. But if you want to consider, you know, the Sony lenses, then the situation will be a little bit different, because the Sony lenses are expensive a little bit. A few €100 each lens is expensiver than the Nikon lenses. And obviously in the Nikon you have multiple versions even in the Nikon, because it has some older versions, newer versions. Unless Sony has only one version, which is the G Master, and that's it. You don't have any other choice. So if you are only using branding lenses like Sony, Nikon, then this camera is not really for you yet. It will be in the future, probably Sony will release again. But if you are happy to use third-party lenses like myself, I'm really happy to use Tamron lenses, Sigma lenses, not a problem at all, then this camera will be the best camera in 2018, the best all-around camera. Now, this is my opinion, and like I said, probably many people will not agree with me. That's not a problem at all. If you have a different opinion, please feel free and share with us. Leave a comment down below in a polite manner. I really don't like when people start calling names and these kind of things, you know. Look, I just ask you to be polite to everybody. I respect your opinion. Please respect my opinion as well. So if you think that I forgot something or I missed something in this video, feel free and leave a comment down below. I'm just a human being. I would like to help others with my experience and my opinion. Please help me as well with sharing your opinion down there so others can see that. If you would like to support this channel, please feel free and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It's free, and hit the little bell button near the subscribe button to get notified when I upload another video. And other than that, I wish you a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.